Okay, now, this is a little different from my normal routine. I'm going to introduce the call before you hear it, and it's going to be at the end of the segment. It's one of those standard calls. We members of the supportive relationships, not everything is all business, not everything is all seriousness, shall you say, or where you have to get something done and rush. A lot of it is just kind of, chilling, I guess is a good word for it, and just sitting back and enjoying the moment. Now, of course, with these telephone calls, the average phone call is longer than 5 minutes, but for these episodes, you just get a little general idea of what we talk about in something here. And this little woman was granted early release because of a new change in the law, and she's excited, and she calls up and she's ready to talk. She's happy, and she still has a little grudge, against her mother's wife. They had a little incident in the past where her brother, I think he was maybe high or he was upset, but he was dealing with this woman, and he got up in her face, and there was a terrible confrontation. The police were called, and then the family kind of turned against her, and they were thinking that she's taking advantage of their mom, and disrupting the family. Except this woman, she's one of those that wants unity. She wants her family to be happy. And she's now a member of this family, of Dirty's family. And of course she wants the kids to like her, but that's tough. Anybody who has come into a blended family knows how difficult it can be. Sometimes it's a smooth transition, sometimes it's not so good. And in this particular case, they had some run-ins in the past, and it's just something that sits with Dirty. And I guess it's something we'll have to work with. And that's one of the things I'm going to concentrate on. I'll be picking her up from prison and bringing her back home. And I will try to get those two to see some common ground or something. I don't know. Something like that is very difficult to predict. Except the main thing is, for this moment, everybody's happy to see her get out. And that's the main thing. We understand that there was a crime that was committed, and we had the trial, and there was guilt, and the person goes to prison. Once that sentence is finished, there is no reason to drag it on. Why should, being caught with illegal drugs, why should that be a life sentence? Dirty should be able to get out, get a job. She should be able to vote. She should be able to get a home, buy a car, establish credit. Her time is done. It's almost like you get into a car accident and you have a serious injury to your abdomen, and you go to the hospital and they do some surgery. You stay in the hospital for a little while, then you go home and you recover. And then after a few years, you get your life relatively back to normality. Imagine if that wound never went away. It just kept bothering you, kept tugging at you. It would be very hard to live a normal life. It would be very difficult to blend in with your neighbors, with your friends, and relate with your family. And that's kind of how I relate this release. I want to follow Dirty when she gets out. Are they going to hold it against her when she goes and applies for an apartment? Are they going to hold it against her when she sits down to do a job interview? Is this something that she's going to have to live with for the rest of her life? And then think, how would you feel if everywhere you went, you were shunned or turned away because of your past? Something you've already paid for, something that's already healed. And I know there's a few crimes out there, some of the violent crimes, where the victims have a very difficult time forgiving the person, and they may never do it. And that's their prerogative. Except not all crimes are that violent. We look at prisons as being a place where society is protected because they're all locked up. And we're spending all this money to keep them locked up, but do we need to really keep everybody locked up? Somebody who writes a few bad checks, they're stealing money, and then they have a chance of paying the person back. That's a crime. They shouldn't have done it. They need to go to prison, except to be condemned for the rest of their life. I don't think that's really fair, especially if they decided that they're going to get out and never do that again. And people who have an addiction, or people who have psychological issues, and especially with these things that keep popping up in the news, where a police officer rolls upon a suspect, and the suspect winds up getting killed. That's definitely not the kind of sentence we need to give people either. So there's a few things that we really need to look at in society. If we can control it, let's control it. And locking people away is something we control. And I hope a lot of the people, when they sit down to redo some laws or to make new laws or to get rid of some laws, they'll take into consideration the person's background and the fact that maybe they went to prison, got out, couldn't get a job, couldn't get any place to live, and wound up going back on the streets committing crimes, and then got caught again. Look at that. If the person's been in and out of prison, is it because we as a society keep shunning them? Won't give them another chance? And then also look at the fact that people get out, get a job, get a home, get good community support, and still go out and commit a crime. What's the purpose? Why would somebody do something like that? There's a lot of things that go unanswered. We can't lump everybody into one big bucket and just say that everybody should be treated the same. That's why we have court systems. We have the judicial system, because not every case is cut and dry. So go ahead and listen to this little phone conversation, just a standard phone conversation with an excited young lady who's ready to get out, and still she's kind of feeling the way that we feel when we see somebody. I can't forgive you for what you did in the past, and I don't want to associate with you. It's kind of like, the shoe's on the other foot. So I'm hoping that that's something that we just have to work with. And these things come up, these things happen, and hey, this young lady, she's got to deal with it. So if we all work together, we can help people in her position get the kind of life they want and that they've earned. So have yourself a wonderful day, and go out and make wonderful memories for tomorrow. Alexa, accept call.
You received a call from an inmate at the Department of Corrections. This call will be recorded and monitored.
Well, hello, Miss Dirty. Are you excited about getting out? Uh-huh. Okay. And what about your little cellmates and your friends over there? How do they feel about all of it? That is fantastic. It looks like you're just on an all-time high. I hope you keep that when you get out because you sure did earn it. You served your time, and I think it's time that you get back out here with the rest of us and get your life back in order and take a look at that place in the rearview mirror and never look back. That's all there is to it. Tell all those guards and all those counselors and all those staff members goodbye. Have a nice life. Never see you again. Oh, my goodness. Well, I hope we can stay in contact by phone. Maybe do some FaceTime or something like that. It was fun talking to you, getting your calls and stuff. And maybe we can have a little tradition or something come up. But I will... okay. Yeah. All right. Good. I'm glad to hear it because you will definitely be set up with a phone. And I know you're going to want to connect with your friends. A lot of them weren't able to visit you, weren't able to get in contact with you because of incarceration or busy schedules or something. I just know a lot of them are going to be there to greet you. We have this big celebration planned, and yeah, that's exactly right. And we have some restrictions and stuff, but all in all, it's going to be nice. And we wanted to make it special for you because this is going to be like a wedding, the first and the last. And so this for you will be your final out, right? Yep. Of course. It's as bad as it is in that place. When you get out here, it doesn't mean that you're going to be completely free. There's still people that are going to be bossing you around. That's right. And you'll still have restrictions. You'll still have a lot of laws and rules to follow. So and plus, this is one of those that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. You went out, you did something wrong, you got convicted, you went to prison, and everything that happened in there, good or bad, you could have easily have avoided. Yeah, that's right. I am going to constantly remind you of that you're not going to escape. Don't even try. Okay, good. Glad to hear it. Now, like I was saying, your mom's wife, she has this big whatever. The minute you taste her cooking, everything may change. No, I've been over there. I've sat with them. She's a good person. Why are you so... Okay, yeah, that happened. But let me tell you something. You're not perfect. No, you are not perfect. And you sitting there, no, quit saying that stuff. You're just condemning her. How would you like it if somebody did that to you? Huh? Something that happened in your past. Oh, no, I don't know. It's like nothing ever happened or anything. And then you just keep bringing it up and telling her that you're just a terrible person or something like that. Everybody has a chance to at least redeem themselves, right? Yeah, whatever. You're just going to have to set
You
all
have
that.
60 seconds remaining.
Well, you're just going to have to set that aside and at least give her a chance. The golden rule. That's it. Yep. The same one. The one we talked about. You can't, don't modify it. It's the golden rule. The golden rule is the golden rule, period. Okay. Your brother, your two brothers, your two sisters, I think even your dad's going to be there. So we'll have a good time. Concentrate on the good stuff. This is an exciting time for you.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
Okay, I'm sure you have some goodbyes and some hugs and some final words and stuff to get going. So get out there. Love ya. I will talk to you later. Take care of yourself and stay out of trouble.